5 things you are doing that will remain you as poor. Today in this video, I'm going to share with you what are the 5 things that will keep you poor. What are the 5 things that holding back you from getting rich? So let's get started. The first thing that will holding you back from getting rich is travel without a plan. Travel too often. You see, every year we travel, maybe 2 times a year, 3 times, 5 times a year. It depends on where you travel. Korea, Thailand, Singapore, Europe, Australia, New Zealand. So, doesn't matter where you go, travel. Travel is good, but try to reduce the frequency and travel with a plan. What do I mean by this? So let's say, for example, you travel 5 times a year. So try to reduce 3 times a year. And the second thing you need to do is travel with a plan. Do not travel just instead of traveling. Your friend is traveling, then you also follow traveling. Maybe other country, but you just instead of travel, just travel. Your sibling is traveling, your colleague is traveling, your family member is traveling, your friend is traveling. You see someone from social media, they are traveling, you feel you also want to go there, you also try to just go instead of just without a plan, just go without a purpose. So what you need to do is you should plan a trip, plan a travel. You should not avoid certain travel. You should plan. You should not like tomorrow I want to travel. You should not have this kind of decision. Next week I want to travel. It should not be like that. You should have a plan. And by doing this, you will know that you realize that there's a lot of things that you can cut down. A lot of costs you can cut down. A lot of expenses that you can cut down. And from long-term wise, you see the differences from this. So plan ahead before you travel. Do not travel just instead of travel. And the second thing you can do is try to avoid buying branded items, luxury goods. This is come to my previous video. I mentioned this want versus need. Do you really think that you need the branded item in order to survive, in order to improve your life? Doesn't necessary. You can improve your life, upgrade your life by changing your habit. Changing your habit can improve or upgrade your life. Do you think that you need those branded item, luxury goods in order to survive, in order to continue, in order for your survival? No, that's not really mean it. You don't have to do it. A branded item and a normal goods, it serve the same function. For example, watch. No matter you are wearing a branded watch or normal brand watch, you can still see the time. It serves the same purpose. It's just a design is different, and the name, the brand is different. That's it. That's all. You know the time. You can see the date. So try to avoid branded item like that. Another example I would like to give is automobile, car. Normal, now doesn't matter you are driving a luxury car or normal car, you still serve the purpose. You still can get into the place. So doesn't matter. Doesn't really you need to have the luxury good to impress others. You do not need luxury things to impress others. You can improve your life by changing your habit. So this is the second thing you can do to get rid of poor. The third thing is try to avoid buying clothes, buying more clothes. Spend less money on clothes. I'm not saying do not buy, spend less. Just spend less, spend wisely. You see, clothes usually can last quite long, 20 years, 30 years, or maybe 40 years. It depends on how well you take care of it. So take care of your clothes well. Plan ahead before you buy any clothes. Although it's cheap, if cheap, however, do you know that if you do this every single day, it will become a habit, and become a habit. In the end, you will be spending a lot of money in clothes. So spend wise. Try to think twice before buying the clothes. What I can suggest is try to buy the clothes that with not easily out fashion. You can wear when you're 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, or even 50 years old. It may look simple, however, but it's long lasting. Yes, indeed, you need to have to do this if you want to get rid of your poor. If you want to get rid of poor, you may have some exclusion. For example, festive seasons, you can maybe have some buying more clothes, or special occasion you have the purpose of buying the clothes. That is fine. That's okay. That's good. But if just buying the clothes because it look nice, then it's skip it. The fourth thing you can do is do not always go for the latest model of any device. Nowadays, technology grows very fast. Today, you see this model coming out, the latest model. Few months, few years later, three model ahead of this model is coming out. So technology change very fast. And do you know that if your pocket cannot cope, cannot constantly grow with the technology, then you should not always choosing for the latest device. And to be honest, you don't really need the latest device to survive, to take picture, to take video. Good quality of picture, good quality of photo, good quality of video, you do not need it. You do not need all those to do what you want. The basic smartphone is enough. So check for the specification before you buy out, instead of just focusing on the design. Yes, you can. If you have found that the specification, then only you choose design, then it's fine. Don't choose device and then only focus on function. So focus on function before design. So the fifth thing that you can do is try to avoid unnecessary gathering, unnecessary meeting. Useless. I would not say useless, it just will not be add value to you. If you're going there just sharing negative association, negative talk, wasting your time, no value added in this conversation, then you should avoid it. Avoid it. If you can't avoid it totally, try to reduce it and spend some of the time go to gathering which you can have value added to yourself. Value added to yourself. Do not waste your time. You should go for something. You should do something valuable. Go for the valuable meeting, valuable gathering. Yes. If you can't really avoid totally, you can just reduce the frequency. Reduce the time you go for those gathering. Reduce the time and use those time wisely to improve yourself in order to graduate. Yes, if you ask me, do I need to do this in order to graduate? Yes, indeed. Maybe you really need to reduce the frequency. Five every week. For example, every weekend you go for those gatherings. Try to reduce every month or twice a month. Once in a 2 week once, maybe 2 week once. You need to do something in order to graduate. If you remember this, if you keep doing the same thing you are doing now, do you really think that you can get to what you want that you haven't get through from doing the same thing? You must do something different in order to get something you haven't get. So these are the 5 things that you can do in order to get rid of poor. These are the 5 things that holding you back from getting rich. I hope you all enjoy my video. like and share, and remember to subscribe to my channel. Bye.